How difficult is it to take something out of that, given the competition?
Not difficult at all. There's so much. When you go out there and put numbers on the scoreboard, everything changes. We went out there, we executed. We had 2 turnovers, which I was very disappointed in the first drive of the game, and the first drive of the second half, which one was a tip ball, which just that happens kind of ball, and the other one just had a misread. But I'll take a lot out of that. We had substitutions, we made plays, we read third down, we understood what we were doing, played with a lot of pride, had a great goal line stand at the end, played well on, got a block punt, got a return punt, got an interception, created a lot of opportunities. I'm going to tell you something. You can downplay that all you want. Samford's a very well-coached football team. They're a good football team. But anytime you play a football game and you make plays in a game on a Saturday afternoon or a Saturday evening, it means something.
How important was it to see that competitiveness in the last game?
What we talk about, pride. It's pride. I mean, that's it. You have toughness, you have effort, you have discipline, and it gets down to pride. And that's something when we were comfortably ahead in the ball game, we had a bunch of young guys on the field, and if you instill it in them from day one, that's the only thing they know. And that's what we're trying to tell them. We're going to play one way and only one way. Play with a lot of effort, a lot of intensity, and play with passion, and that's what they did. I mean, they just said, okay, we're going to try and make a goal line stand. And we had a couple big hits by some 2 freshmen out there on that drive, and it was very encouraging from what I saw.
Did you need to see something from Christian where it is an opponent?
Oh, no, definitely. I mean, first time he went out there and played. I mean, you can say practice, you can say spring, you can say scrimmage. Again, when the lights on the scoreboard are on, it's different. And it always makes it different. And you have to go out there and get those jitters out of the way and make the throws and make the plays and get the reads. And like I say, he'll progress into it and fall into it as the season goes on and keep getting better and better. That's the first time he's played almost 9 months, 10 months, whatever long it is.
The lights were on for you today too. I mean, your first. How is it different, and how do you think you handle the new responsibility?
Well, I think that would be, y'all could probably say that better than me from what your impression was from the sideline, but I think our coaching staff was organized. I thought they knew what they wanted to do. We had a substitution penalty or 2 there at the end where we needed to, we're trying to get some freshmen in the game, but from a game management standpoint, I was pleased with how we managed the sideline. We had 2 or 3 little instances, and sometimes that happens. We hope we get those out of the way from the first game to the second game, but from the standpoint of the preparation for our meetings, how our practices went, to how we got our kids in the right frame of mind to play, I was very pleased with the staff and the way they handled things.
How about you personally? How was the day?
I felt it. It was funny. Once, you start to say it, you get out there and you start to walk down and you say, it starts to get a little nervous. All of a sudden, when I walked out on the field, I just relaxed. I really did. I mean, it felt like I was back in the game, and what we had to do, it just had a few more decisions on the kicking game and some of the things that are going on defense and our substitution things, but I kind of relaxed. I kind of was, I didn't know what to expect either. I mean, I didn't know, you always say that as a freshman player, you always say what it's going to be like till he goes out there and plays. He never knows how he's going to react or how he's going to feel, and there was still some of that with me, even though being a head coach, I didn't know if it would be that much different. And there was some difference, but it didn't feel like a bunch, really.
Coach, how satisfied are you that you guys could have come out and muddled around and maybe won a sloppy game, but that you guys looked good in your first game?
That was what I told our kids. All right, turnovers, which we had early, but, penalties, drop balls, things like that. You know what I mean? Just things that you shoot yourself in the foot on. Those generally happen on offense. And all of a sudden, one of those games muddle up and you're at halftime at 7-6 or 7-3 and you're battling your tail off. But I was very pleased with the execution. I really was, and how we got out of the blocks and made plays when we had chances to make plays, and I was very happy with that.
What pleased you most defensively?
I'm sorry?
Defensively, what pleased you most?
They didn't score a touchdown. And I say that because they had a goal line stand. They had two other red zone opportunities down there that guys made plays and knocked balls out. We gave up a field goal and we created a turnover. But the consistency level, they had to earn yards, and they played great red zone defense and played with some toughness and some pride. There was some pride on that field, especially at the end of the game. I mean, you have a lead like that, and all of a sudden you got some guys that had never been in a game before. I mean, they weren't thinking about everything. Well, they ain't gonna let them score. I mean, they had a team concept in their mind. I was very happy with that.
Will anybody kick the ball to Brett Reed again?
I don't know. But, the good thing about that, you win some field position with it because they kick a few short out of bounds. We got a block. We're able to, to get a block out of that. And then, of course, the one he did put his hands on, the guy is amazing. I mean, I had it right there. I said, he's hands up. I said, no. This kick, I said, offense goes to them. So, I mean, it was, he is an amazing guy.
When's the last time you talked to Coach Bob?
It's been a little while. It really has. I mean, it's been a few months or so back before the last time we talked, and because we just got so busy. And he was, he's been on the book tour, and he's been speaking and doing all the things he's doing, and I was getting ready for doing all the media days and all that. So it's been a little while, but we spoken up before that the things that we said, we still feel the same way. And like I said, he's still my hero, and I know if I picked the phone up right now and called him, he'd answer any question I had and be right there for him.
They scored that field goal at the end of the first half, and then you come out a little sluggish defensively to start the second. Was that just an intensity thing?
I think we lost a little focus there, and we made a mistake. I think EJ, we talked about, he made the one mistake in the game he did. He had a chance to make a big play, and you want to throw a big play, and all of a sudden it's not there. You got to check it down on first down. He showed a little immaturity there, wanting to try to force the ball down the field, and we turn it over, and then they come out and and kick it around and moved it down the field on us. So that's something we have to work on. You have to learn to finish a half and start a second half, and that was one of the things I was not very pleased with.
Coach, the program's been down for a few years now, about Florida State standards. Do you think it's going to take a while for the fans, all the fans, to kind of jump back on the bandwagon?
They probably will. I mean, people they want to see consistency for a while. You know what I mean? They want to see how things progress. I hope it does. I hope they come back and we're out there in every game that we're there and we pack that stadium out. But I understand, if that's the way that's going to be, then that's the way it's going to be. We have to win and play well and make them want to come back.
How quickly do your thoughts shift to Oklahoma next week?
Right now. Right now. They were in that locker room. They were ready to Oklahoma. I mean, and people say, well, how much you prepared for them? We didn't. I mean, we looked at film in the summer, and you have ideas, and we have a notebook on things, but I'm not a guy, I don't like doing that. I never have, never did it anywhere I've ever been. And so we'll get on them very quickly because it's going to be a heck of a challenge, and they got a great football team and a great program, and they play well at home.
We finally saw Greg Reed a little on offense on one play. Just talk about getting him under center.
I figured they wouldn't kick it to him. So I figured I got to let him touch it somehow. So, but I wanted to get him out there and get him on the field and just let him feel like it's to break an offensive huddle and run a play and do some things. And thought it was important to do it, and I thought it was the right opportunity to do it and get him in the game.
You played a lot of freshmen in this game. I mean, you said you were going to do. Did you get out of them what you hoped to get?
I did. I mean, there was some plays. I mean, LaMarcus Joyner made a couple hits, made a couple plays on the sideline. Telvin Smith goes in the game the second play because 13 shoe comes off, and he makes a play right off the bat. And like I say, I mean, when they're natural, they're natural. Christian Jones was making plays. Jeff Luck was making. Cummings. There was a lot of guys. I mean, Terrence Brooks made a couple nice plays and knocked the ball out of the guy's hand down there, catching the touchdown pass at the end. I know I'm missing somebody, but I mean, there was, Scooter Higgins made a catch out there. Greg Dent, we tried to get some balls too. I mean, there was some guy. I mean, I'm missing somebody I know, but
Cameron had a tackle I saw at the end.
Yeah, Cameron. They can play. I mean, those guys are going to play. We need them to play. We need to build that depth and get them on the field because they're going to be players in the future. And the more you get them out there, and the more they get used to that, the quicker they're going to make an impact.
McAllister had a couple sacks.
Yes, he did. I was happy to see that.